Welcome, everybody, to our next edition of Meet the Members of the Baltimore-Annapolis Professionals LinkedIn Group. Today we have Leonard with us. Welcome, Leonard.
Art, it's great to be here.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time, and we're now about 10 into these interviews, and it is fun for everyone to get to know each other. I know you've watched a couple of our earlier ones, and so you know the routine. The first thing we ask is for you to give your elevator pitch, and we do that for two reasons. One is we get to know you and what you do and what's important to you in a quick, concise manner, but also we all need to give a good elevator pitch, so it lets us learn from each other. Okay? So, feel the pressure. You ready?
I'm all set.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
So, Leonard Raskin. I own Raskin Global. We are a fee-based financial consulting firm. Headquartered in Hunt Valley, Maryland. It's myself and two other advisors. We have a staff of 4. We also have offices in Rockville, and we have an office in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our practice is in giving individuals and business owners financial advice on the entirety of their financial world. So we address everything from budgeting to all types of protection, how you're insured, how your assets are titled. In the corporate setting, fleet insurance, everything from all types of corporate benefits, disability insurance, health insurance, life insurance, to protecting your key people, buy and sell agreements, business succession planning. On the individual side, it's wills and trusts and estates. It's life insurance, and then every which way you can invest your money. Stocks, bonds, funds, managed assets, real estate. We take a look at everything. We advise on everything. And in the areas where we can assist people, other than from the advice side, we're also licensed to sell any investment products or insurance products that are in the marketplace. Sometimes people choose to pay us our fee and then implement with us product and solution. Other times people pay the fee and implement the specific particular product solution on their own or with their own other advisors. Either way is fine with us.
Excellent. All right. Now, financial advising, one of the things that I always think of is you obviously need to have money to do any planning on it. So how much money does somebody need before they come to you and get advice?
Great question. We are not a firm that says you have to have $500,000 or $1 million to walk in the door. We work with people that are just starting out in business, just starting out in their career. $10,000 to invest, we're happy to talk to you. We want to help people grow their wealth, and my philosophy, 29 plus years being in business, has been that if I can help somebody create their first million and their second million, that's fantastic. I don't find it extremely rewarding to help somebody with 50 million create their 51st million. So
unless they're giving it to you.
Well, I'd be happy to take the 50 million, but I'm not out there in my world saying, we've got to find $50 million clients.
Right.
It's just never what the firm has been. I tried that model a number of years ago. I tried to limit the number of new clients that I saw. And quite frankly, I much preferred helping people handle middle-class kind of money issues than helping the wealthiest of the wealthy figure out how to avoid the estate tax and do their thing, although we're certainly capable of doing that.
Right. Okay. Excellent. So you see a lot of people. What do you think the biggest challenges are? Let's look at the business owner for an example. What are the biggest challenges to the business owner?
Sure. So I think one of the biggest things in the business owner setting that they have to be made aware of, that we do a lot of work in the area of for business owners, is 401k plans, retirement plans. And by that, what I mean is not whether or not they're going to be able to retire, but the government, Department of Labor, Treasury Department, they would love to come into your company and find that your retirement plans are not working the way they're supposed to. And what most business owners don't recognize is that when you're a fiduciary on your company's retirement plan and the Department of Labor shows up or somebody decides to sue you because the investments aren't quite what they thought they should be, you end up with personal liability for the issues of the retirement plan. And so we meet with a lot of business owners that are reluctant fiduciaries, or don't realize they're fiduciaries. And when they do, they find out that their plan hasn't been reviewed for a number of years. And last year, the Supreme Court came out with a pretty incredible ruling that says you're a fiduciary first day, last day, and every day of the retirement plan. And if we find a problem, you're going to pay for it. So we've been doing a lot of reviews of existing companies' clients' 401k plans to make sure that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and they're prudent so that that lawsuit doesn't come and they don't end up losing their house because Joe employee was unhappy about what was going on in the plan. That's a really big one we see a lot of.
Okay, that's interesting. And that's interesting also because it brings up the other side of the equation for a business owner in that they are affected by their own personal finances, but
Absolutely.
they're also affected by their employees' finances.
No question.
Right? Because, I mean, we all know that if you want to see a distracted employee, have them have financial troubles.
No question. And in our world, another piece of the puzzle that we offer for business owners is we have a program called Corporate Financial Wellness. And it's based on just what you just said. We talk to business owners about the fact that their employees, whether they know it or not, are distracted at some point during the day, almost every day, thinking about, is my retirement plan working right? How am I going to pay for my kids' college? Am I going to be able to retire? Did that health claim get paid to the doctor? Am I going to be able to pay my mortgage? Whatever it may be. And without good education, which unfortunately our schools don't teach financial education, financial literacy worth a darn, they're thinking about it on your time. And that's wasting productivity when they're out checking their accounts in the middle of the day.
Right. I don't normally disagree with all my guests, but I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, okay? And this,
Yeah.
Okay, you said there's going to be some point during the day where the employee is distracted by their financial situation. Would it not be more accurate to say there's going to hopefully be some point during the day where they're not distracted by their... Would that not be a more accurate...
Right.
Okay.
You very well may be right, because it's certainly rested in the back of their head if it's not in the front.
That's right. It's
no question.
Yeah. And so that's interesting. So you put together a plan where you actually, in a sense, I don't know physically how it works, but in a sense, you go into that corporation and help its health from a 360 point of view. You help the health of the corporation itself, the financial health of the corporation, the financial health of the owners of that corporation, let it be one or more, and the financial health of the employees, which then sets in a cycle of then increasing the financial health of the corporation, which then creates more financial health for the owners, which then creates more financial health for the employees, which starts the next cycle.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
And we come to learn the company's benefits as well or better than the HR people, or if it's a small business, the owner himself or herself, because they don't necessarily know. And they're not allowed to advise. A lot of business owners don't realize if you have a 401k, if you have a retirement plan, employee Joe comes to you and says, hey, Art, what should I put my money in? You're not allowed to give them that financial advice. We are. So we become a fiduciary to the individuals, and we help them make those decisions so that it takes one thing off their plate they don't have to think about. And you're right. We do it. We come in and we offer a series of educational classes to the company to talk to the employees about every aspect of their money, from insuring it to titling it to investing it to home and mortgages, everything in between, estate planning. We bring in accountants and attorneys to talk with us. We just finished one session at a company in the last probably 3 weeks. We brought in a Social Security expert, somebody who talks about nothing but Social Security and Medicare. There's been a major change effective right now, today, in the Social Security laws, and people weren't made aware of it. So people don't know when to take their Social Security or how to take it, and so we do a session just on that. The whole thing is to educate the employees about their money so they can be more productive, as you said, so the company can make more money, so the business owners can have more profit, so everybody can do what they want out of the day.
Excellent. All right. Well, this has been very, very interesting. I really appreciate it. All All right. Next thing is, we're a community of business people, and we're always looking to improve and get better for we can have, more flexibility over how we invest and how we live. And so one of the things we always ask is, have you received one bit of advice that you think other business people in our group would benefit from, or a book that they've read that really has impacted their business?
So a couple. I would say two things. One, from a book standpoint, and this is it's not an obscure, but it's not something that every business owner is going to go read. But A Random Walk Down Wall Street is an amazing book that explains how investing works, how markets work, and it is the Bible for our philosophy of how we invest client dollars. Okay. Because what it talks about is that active managers over the long term investing clients' money don't beat the market. And everybody wants their advisor to beat the market when what they should want is their advisor to help them get market returns. We say instead of trying to beat the market, which everybody then says is above average and claims they can do, we liken it to golf. And we say what you want to do is get the average, which we call par. And we know that as a business owner, if you could go out on the golf course and shoot par consistently, you'd be a happy guy or a happy lady. Yeah. So Random Walk Down Wall Street's one of my favorites. Beyond that, I would say that you want to make sure you bring in, the best tip I've gotten is to bring in a group of people to give you advice overall that are professional at what they do. That you don't try to do, as the business owner, the marketing, the financials, the directing, the market, as I said, the marketing, all the different tasks that we're tasked with being a small business by yourself.
Right. Pay
for the right professionals because the cost of amateurs is very expensive.
Absolutely. Interesting. Okay. Now, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to make an exception right now. Okay. I don't normally surprise my guests, but I'm going to ask you a question. Random Walk Down Wall Street was what made me think of it. That's the one where they talk about the dartboard, right? We're throwing a dot. Yeah. Okay. Thought so.
The monkeys and the dartboard.
Yeah. Okay. Have you heard about the Warren Buffett hedge fund challenge that's going on right now?
I have not.
Okay. Back in the 2000s, and I don't remember exactly when, Warren Buffett, who my understanding knows something about investing, or at least he's recognized that way at least, okay?
Right.
Made a statement that basically if you put your money with hedge fund people, you might as well just go to the racetrack, that there was no logic to it. And shockingly, some hedge fund people got upset by the comment.
Yeah, go figure.
Okay. And they challenged him. And so Warren Buffett came back and said, all right, I'll make a deal with you. You take $1 million of your money, put it into a separate account, and manage it as a hedge fund. Okay? And stuff. I'll take $1 million and invest it the way I think it ought to be invested, and then not touch it again until the end of the challenge. And it was like a 12-year challenge. I forget exactly the details. So it ends next year, okay? And the hedge fund is actually doing, I should tell you, what Buffett did was he said, I don't have time to deal with it. The other part of the deal was at the end, both get donated to charity.
Right.
Okay. But Buffett said, I don't have time. I've got a business to run. I don't have time for this stuff. So I'm just going to buy a Vanguard index fund.
S&P 500 index.
Whatever. I don't know which one he bought, but he bought an index fund from Vanguard.
Right.
The other people are doing well. The hedge fund people have been really doing well. They're up 30% since the challenge started. They're not doing quite as well, though, as Warren's doing, who's up about 75%.
Yep.
Okay. The only difference is they've been living inside this hedge fund, and by the way, it's their hedge fund, so they're not paying their transaction fees and stuff that, they're paying whatever you have to pay to Wall Street, but they're not paying their management fees.
Right.
And they're up half of what Warren Buffett's up for putting it in and walking away from it.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if we look around in the last year or so, there's hedge fund after hedge fund closing after closing. They can't close fast enough.
Right.
They just don't make, his statement's absolutely correct. They just don't make people money except themselves.
Right. Which was their goal in the first place. So I guess they're successful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I really have appreciated you taking time to come and meet our members, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend this weekend.
You the same. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. And with that, we end another episode of Meet Our Members. See you next time.